And welcome into another episode of Dan D'Antoni Sports. My name is Dan Snyder, joined tonight by the three best friends that anyone could have. We got Dan O'Shea, Tony Casper, Dan Beebe. Gentlemen, how are you all doing?
Great. Feeling healthy. Ate my peas today like a boy.
All right, that's fantastic to hear. Thank you. Thank you so very much for sharing with us. All right, guys, we have a lot to talk about, or maybe very little to talk about, depending on how you look at things. So I just want to start this with a question for all of you. What do Ezekiel Elliott, a bunch of college football players, Novak Djokovic, and Charlie Blackmon have in common?
They all have COVID-19.
They all tested positive for coronavirus in the last week. So, that is exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. Because we're dying for sports. Alright. The big topic, will sports be happening? Now, I am very cautiously optimistic about what is happening in the NFL. But there are some developments that are making me worried about other sports. For example, the Major League Baseball, they are set to resume. Everything went through. Rob Manfred started. There's a weird beeping, and I do apologize for that. So Rob Manfred 2 days ago had announced that it's going to be a 60-game season. The owners are going to get everything they want, and the players, despite the fact that they voted no, have basically been strong-armed into a 60-game season where they have to make a ton of concessions. So there will be baseball because they did agree to it. And exactly when is that going to be? Well, we found out today. 60
July
game.
24th.
Yeah, July 23rd and 24th are going to be the first 2 days of baseball. I'm assuming the 23rd is going to be like one of those weird one game, and then the rest of the games are the next day. So that is good news on that. The bad news is they still haven't figured out where all the games are going to be played. Because right now, you can't play games in California, you can't play games in Texas, you can't play games in Florida, you can't play games in Arizona. So where are all these games going to be played? Are they just going to be like, fuck it, play in your home stadium, and let's hope nobody catches the COVID? Because that seems mightily irresponsible to just do that. So
You'll get the COVID?
yeah, I guess if you want to catch the COVID, go ahead and resume playing like normal. But a lot of...
Let's be real here. In Major League Baseball, that really only is a factor in so many stadiums. Because if anyone's been social distancing, it's been fans of shitty teams.
That's not true. In the past, 5 years, the A's have been relevant, and they still don't get fans. So
Okay, and that just furthers my point.
yes, yeah, teams.
They can't be cardboard fans.
Let's just be honest here. Unless they really ramp up the TV deals, teams are going to be losing a fuck ton of money by not having full capacity at games, by not having the full 160 games.
No matter what, with any sports team, college, pro, or otherwise, that a fuck ton of money in parking, in concessions, in attendance. It was always going to be the case. I mean, the commissioner of the Big Ten solely believes that the college football season is going to go off as scheduled, which I think is naive.
I mean,
I don't think people really have a problem with getting it started. They get a park, they're out at gatherings, they go to Trump's rally. I mean, just start the season. Why not?
We can just ignore spiking cases. Yeah.
I mean, if you stop testing, obviously there will be less numbers. So I feel like we know what we need to do.
I need entertainment in sports. Let the other people die.
Listen.
Yeah, Dan, you did say we're dying for sports, so we're just going to make some of the players actually die for our entertainment because we are the Romans, and this is the collapse of empire.
Let me be perfectly clear. I feel like everything will be taken care of in time for these games to go off. Major League Baseball, the NHL, NBA, and NFL. Because if anyone can get shit done, it's billionaires who are afraid they're going to lose money.
No, it's not get shit done. It's make sure that they make money. If you think for a second that they give a fuck about you, that's clearly naive. I mean,
No. When I said get shit done, I mean get a season done.
Our fucking money.
And for the record, NASCAR already has fans, so there you go.
Oh yeah, because that's the highest bar we can fucking set.
They let fans in there now. More than baseball's doing right now.
That's not true. There are no fans at the NASCAR events. They all wear Confederate flag clothing. They're not allowed anymore. Anyways, so Major League Baseball, I feel like baseball is going to be the toughest one because of how many games there are to play. Because there's 60 games plus playoffs. So
yeah, but I mean they're also jamming this into a very short period of time. I mean, baseball was always going to be the biggest question because one of how often that they play. When it comes to the NHL and the NBA, there needs to be a centralized either finishing out of the season, which isn't going to happen, or a centralized playoff, which they were able to figure out for the most part. I mean, the NHL is still up in the air whether or not which locations are going to be hosting this, but
they want to have one in the East and one in the West. I've written down the final 6 locations. It's Vegas, Chicago, LA, Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto. Those are the 6 locations still in play.
I mean, considering Nevada and Las Vegas has already opened casinos and we're not seeing the spike there, Vegas may be onto something.
Yeah, Chicago is like an epicenter. It's not looking good. If you want to do anything in the city of Chicago, it's not looking good.
People in Chicago don't follow the rules anyway.
Apparently, you can't just shoot the Rona and it go away.
No, they don't. There's no following the rules. Look back to the fucking Black Sox. They don't follow the rules. They haven't been doing it for decades and fucking almost centuries there. They don't fucking care. It's the Wild West.
It's a good point. But yeah, so Major League Baseball start date technically July 23rd. Most games played on July 24th. Through September 29th. So they're going to get this done in 2 months. So they're going to be playing like every fucking day. Literally for 2 fucking months straight.
It's different than how baseball operates anyway.
Yeah, but you don't go 60 straight days playing baseball in a regular season.
I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. Baseball players are the last ones that I expect out of any athlete of woe is me. You stand in a field hoping a ball gets fucking hit to you, and then you're considered successful if you fucking fail fucking 1 out of every 3 times. Actually, you're considered great.
Yeah, I want to know now, but I have no sympathy for baseball players.
Not to mention pitchers. What, you have to work? You have to get out there, every 4 or 5 outings?
Yep.
I mean, relieving pitches come in, 8 pitches, their day's done. That one.
Closers don't even show up unless there's a lead. If they're down by 9, they might as well go home.
Yeah, so baseball, for me, is still the biggest question mark because of how long the season is. Are you going to be able to get 2 straight months of having people play? Presumably some dumbass states like Texas and Arizona and Florida are going to have people show up to the games because that's what dumbass states like Texas, Arizona, and Florida do. So if there is going to be additional cases of corona during the season, it's going to be in Texas, Florida, and Arizona. But again, 60 games, I think it's going to be tough. I feel like baseball is the one sport that should have just conceded and said, maybe we'll try again next year, chaps.
It's. I mean, I disagree with that because baseball, in a sense, is the most separated sport out of any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the time you're standing well more than 6 feet away from somebody, and then what's the risk that you're going to contract it because some guy hit a ball off of a pitcher that's on your team already that you're in close proximity to in the locker room?
Right. I mean,
for all it's worth, why don't they just wear masks?
do you have masks that will work for baseball? Like, these guys are breathing hard. I don't think wearing an N95 mask is going to work.
For the 6 seconds they're asked to do something?
I mean, do you see fucking some of the players are clearly out of breath? I mean, guys like Prince Fielder and the Big Sexy and...
Okay, so you're talking about the ones that are clearly out of shape.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, them.
Pablo Sandoval, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just feel like baseball is going to be the biggest risk simply because of how many games there are to play. And
I 100% and could not possibly disagree more with you because I think that the biggest risk, hands down, of any sport would have to be football based on its contact. Maybe basketball based on its exposure, but there's more than double the amount of people that are making contact with each other all the fucking time in football.
Right, but we're talking about something that's starting now as opposed to something that's starting in 2.5 months.
Something starting in 2.5 months isn't going to make the virus not traveling and not fucking exist anymore.
Well, no, but in 2.5 months, a lot can be done to eradicate and get it out of certain areas. New York, we've been locked down for 2.5 months, and we're looking pretty friggin' good compared to states like Texas, California, Arizona.